Polkadot, Kusama, and Moonriver. Is right now time to go shopping? And if so, to what degree shopping? Go full extravagantly with shopping big time? Or should I just go buy some ramen noodles? Or should I wait out? Should I be fearful? That's what we're going to cover in this video. And not only we're going to cover the healthy mentality that might be good to have right now, I will also show you levels and how to know when levels are hit to flip that mentality. So watch all the way through. Returning viewers, please take a quick moment and do me a favor to help out the algo. Hit like, leave me a quick comment, even if that comment is LOL, you suck, LOL, or you suck, actually, you really do suck. Whatever the case, I love those comments. And new viewers, my channel, what this does, if you can't tell already, it's going to supplement all the other news and fundamental crypto videos that you're watching, because they don't show you or teach you confidence what's happening when you're clicking around with your money. And that's what my channel does. I supplement your crypto journey by giving you information you're not typically getting elsewhere, in terms of altcoins specifically, so you have a better idea of what the heck is happening when you're clicking around with your money as you look at Pokemon cards for entertainment and education purposes only. Let's go after it. So, did I turn off that sign? Okay, good. All right. Tim, why are we looking at Bitcoin? We're supposed to be looking at Polkadot and Kusama and Moonriver. I know. However, my analysis today is going to be based off the idea that Bitcoin does not close a daily candle below this bottom of the range, which I have labeled here. And if it does, I would still say that the next day would come in. So my analysis today is under that premise, that a bounce in general happens here and Bitcoin stays in its range. So you need to interpret my analysis for the following three in that specific context, right? So let's say that I give an analysis today and Bitcoin really breaks down and races down, to 40K, 39K. Well, you need to use that salt that I'm giving you now, season your food with it, and you can logically say, hey, Tim's analysis, okay, it's actually going to be much more bearish, so let's look farther to the downside than what the analysis covered. Or if you get just if this was a nasty bear trap and things go straight to the top end of the range, well, you need to be more bullish than the analysis I'm giving now too, right? So that's the basis. Within the context, I think Bitcoin will stay between 48,200 and 43,350 for the upcoming several days. That is my analysis for the mid and short, for the short term, essentially. All right, so let's jump into it. Polkadot. I think Polkadot got hit kind of hard, didn't it? All right. Let's look at the weekly chart. No, actually, Polkadot actually looks really good. Okay, good. So what are you seeing, returning viewers? So what is the first thing I'm going to say? Returning viewers probably already know why I had not a bad look on my face. Because you tested the weekly 10 after having already tested the weekly 10 and the weekly 21, right? So this is nothing but good. So as long as Bitcoin can stay within the range, this is going to recover very quickly. This does not need to hang out for very long. This is your third test of these key EMAs. Now, for new viewers, what the heck does that mean? Well, see how price, so see the two EMAs, which are the red and yellow lines, weekly 10, weekly 21. In general, if you crash below it, right, on your way up, you need to form respect with the lines, period. There are not many exceptions in crypto price action ever. And when you do have it fly above and it looks like it won't respect it, that's when you drop down and then touch it, sometimes break through. So there are very few exceptions. So it's almost like asking the question, why does an egg drop, or why does an egg, break when I drop it from my hand? Why does it fall and break, right? It's, simple things like gravity, but gravity, smartest people on earth still don't know what it is, but we know how to measure it perfectly and predict its behavior almost perfectly. Thanks to Einstein, whose equations have held up beautifully in terms of general relativity. Anyway, back to Bitcoin price off of nerdy stuff. So you can see that there was no respect on the way up, right? And so the idea that it has to respect it is just like dropping an egg. I'm telling you, that's just how it happens. My returning viewers already know this. But now you have one test of the 10, one test of the 21, which is really all you need, and a second test of the 10. This might hang out for a couple weeks, but it's going to have some after this. This is very, very, very healthy. And this is a great reaction to a mini dump of Bitcoin. This isn't a huge dump or anything, but this is a great reaction. And if you watched my other video that I've already uploaded today for Dogecoin and whatever. It has Dogecoin in it. I can't even remember off the top of my head, but there were two coins there that looked weak, right? And this does not look weak. So this is postured extremely well. I would say that in order for this to break down and close a candle below the weekly 21, so in order for DOT to go to $25 and stay there for a week or longer, Bitcoin's going to have to go sub 40. You're not going to see that most likely on Polkadot. You're not going to see sub $25 on Polkadot if Bitcoin is not below sub 40. So if Bitcoin goes to 40, well, you'll probably get a weekly closure between these two EMAs, maybe a slight wick down, but you're not going to close a weekly in the 25 range unless Bitcoin goes below that level. So let's dive into more, quickly what's going to happen within the next, couple days here. So I'm going to use the 8-hour chart. I'm going to put on some more EMAs, look for what she's hitting. Okay. I can take off the 89, I guess. And maybe even the 55. I'm going to take off price too. Maybe go to the 12-hour. Yeah, 12 hours better. So you see how when the red line went to the yellow, you had a skim play. It skimmed it, pushed. Skimmed it, push. Sometimes skim plays, what they do is it actually goes below it. The red goes below the yellow. What I mean by it, just barely. And that also constitutes a skim play, but it's wrong color. But it's scarier, right? It gets more people to become sellers before a move up, which is good for the smart algos because they want you to sell as they're buying. And so these bearish crosses often introduce, so you see how the red is going below the yellow here? That's bearish. Bots and humans sell when they get those signals, particularly on the daily and the 4-hour chart. This has already happened on the 4-hour chart because it's happening on the 12-hour now, but it has not happened on the daily most likely. So let's go to the daily. It has yet to happen. See, but it's getting really close. So on the 12-hour chart, you're probably going to get a skim play that looks like that, but on the daily chart, it's probably going to be a more standard skim play since these did not completely skim last time. So you see it kind of almost wanted to skim, then it got even closer to skimming. This time it probably is going to skim. It's probably going to skim this time. Yeah, with price down there. So what you're going to have on the daily is something like you saw on the 12-hour, something to that effect. And so this is, again, this is assuming Bitcoin returns to its range, right? So you need to be more bearish than this if Bitcoin does not return to its range. Please remember that. It's very important. Because I can't cover like 20 different options because the video would be 2 hours long and no one would want to watch it. So recovery, oh yeah, this could recover by early October. Honestly, this chart looks good. I would guess that that's how it's going to behave, and based off the behavior of the EMAs, I could essentially guess that it won't hang out too long down here, and I think it'll return back. I bet the range is somewhere around here. Let's take a look. Kind of an easy guess, but I would say that Polkadot returns relatively quickly to this general range, and I think it'd be by very early October. So let's put price back on. Yeah, you'll probably hang out here a little bit, maybe get rejected come, and then break back into this box October 3rd. So I will actually put a price target there. By October 3rd, Polkadot price to be back in this box. And then I think it'll charge up from there, assuming Bitcoin stays within or starts moving above the range, right? So Polkadot, so October 3rd. Okay, so that is my best guess right now. I'm not OCD, but I don't like it when the blues are a different type of blue. There you go. All right, that's Polkadot. So right now, I mean, with that analysis, for me, this would be a good time to go, not, filling up the cabinets with grocery shopping, but definitely buying more than ramen noodles. I mean, this is like getting milk, bread, eggs, maybe something like that. That's the type of Pokemon card shopping I would do if I'm a Dot fan. But I wouldn't go totally all out. All right, so let's go to Kusama. Okay, now structurally it's identical, right? So the only thing I need to do in this analysis, I will give you exact price targets. So I did promise you, all right? But let's just do it. Let's go back. All right, so just like Dot, right? Polkadot is staying above its weekly 10. It already had, actually, this has more tests. So it's tested its 21 3 times. That's actually, so it is a little different. This is actually a little bit better than the Dot chart, I'm not going to lie. You have 3 tests of the 21. The Dot only has 1, but it also has 2 retests of the 10. So honestly, this is postured a tiny bit better. On a scale of 1 to 10, if Dot's, posturing as a 7, this is a 7.2. This is a little better. And I would assume that, Dot and, let's say, I would say Kusama could break above this local high on the 3rd week. The week of October 11th, break that. So that line is at, I'll just write it in for you here. $435.15. Did I say around October 10th? Uh, 11th. Get you some. All right. Now, how will it recover? Probably stay above the daily 55 during this on a closure. Yeah, so yeah, it wick right below it. So you're also going to get a skim play on this. It's gonna, the EMAs are gonna do something similar. The red will probably stay on top. It'll go something like that. So with that type of posturing price, I'll do this independently, but I bet I'll land somewhere close to October 3rd to break back in that box, independent. So I would say range about there to, it's a smaller range. Honestly, this is pretty good posturing. Kusama is a little bit different. I'm not going to lie. So on a daily scale, you kind of recover. Maybe have one more down day. Green. It's going to get in this box earlier. Maybe. I would say it's going to get in this box by September 26th. That would be my guess. And so this box, the range, the bottom side is 385.61. All right, there you go. Happy guys? I skipped Kusama last time, and it wasn't just 1 or 2 people, giving feedback on that. So I definitely wronged you all there. But all right. And again, I know this is free content, but I do want to give you great, really good free content. So if there's something that I can improve in that regard, and whether it's how I fiddle around with TradingView, I've gotten a lot of TradingView suggestions over time, like how to make a quick horizontal. Even though I like making my lines the way I make my lines, but I've gotten a lot of good suggestions. So don't be scared to leave me that feedback. Another person said, hey, if you could remove the sincere, request to remove the word boltard from your lexicon, public lexicon or whatever. Just nice requests like that. So, okay. Mover came down to hit its daily 21. That's a good tag. I don't think Mover will break down. I think Mover is going to actually recover a little bit faster. Maybe not start breaking out faster. I can't see this hanging down below 400 for more than 3 more days. I think this has done what it needs. In terms of you got to get down to get up, it just got down. I think this is good. Honestly, like for Mover, I would say this is milk, eggs, bread, plus passing through the candy or the toy aisle, maybe get a couple toys for a couple small kids or something like, but not full scale grocery shopping. Maybe buy a rotisserie, like a chicken or something too. This looks like a fairly good time to, go medium light on Pokemon cards and Mover in terms of shopping and to what degree. I think this one's going to I have a feeling it's going to recover quite well because you have this bottom origin line here. It just wicked below. I think it's going to ride it like this. Now, what could easily happen though for a further downside target is, and this happens for new coins. I already let everybody know the chance of my origin lines, holding up, because this is so young, it's not that great, right? So what could easily happen? What could easily happen here is a new origin line must be made after this. That is possible. Okay, so let's go like this. It might hit that line, actually. It might ride that one. Yeah, even so, I don't think it's going to go much lower. I think if it does hit this line, it's simply going to move sideways to do it. Therefore, now is not a horrible time to do some grocery shopping for Mover Pokemon cards. Again, I would not go full horns to the wall on this. So if I had $1,000 of capital waiting on the sidelines for a dip, I wouldn't use it all. Don't go full grocery shop, even though that's grocery shop for like 8 kids. Maybe more like 10. I bet people with 10 kids spend $1,000 a week on food. Because I got 4, so I kind of know what that would be. But if you have $1,000 or $1,000 to consider Pokemon cards for, I definitely wouldn't do all of it. I wouldn't pull the trigger on all of it because it looks like you'll have several more days to feel out, hey, is this going to get strong? And you're probably going to move sideways and then head up. So I would say Mover's going to start heading up full recovery mode around September 24th. And that would be the more bearish case. Now, if Bitcoin breaks below 40K, this is going to break down too. I'm not going to lie. I mean, this could come all the way down to $183 because there's, like $200. If Bitcoin breaks below 40K, this can come down. So it's a young asset. It has no support up here, right? This is not really support, and it's already there. That's the last. There's nothing below this point where it's already at, and here. So so for a downside target, if Bitcoin goes to 40K, this is coming back down to under $200. And then you probably get a really good bounce from there. But assuming Bitcoin stays in the range, like I prefaced this whole video, I would say by something to the effect of September 24th. So let's go like this. Mid bearish case, Mover moves sideways until September 24th and then heads up. And I'll put a box there. Could wick below it too. Something to that effect. Yeah, it might move sideways for a little while, but I think it still looks pretty healthy though. I don't think this is at risk for a ton more downside movement. assuming Bitcoin stays in the range. I think it'll level out. And that's not very many days away. It's already the 20th. So 4 more days of sideways price action, then recovery. And that could honestly lead to a pretty solid move, honestly. So, but downside targets for mover, I do have it right at 200. If Bitcoin breaks below this range, you need to be ready for that price target. So you might want to draw that in your chart as well. And it could wick significantly below that, but then settle down around 200. So you might have a wick down price target of 165. You really, really could. All right, for a buyback range. Now that would be a steal buyback range potentially, but you need to be aware of those targets because it's not a zero chance of happening. I would give it at least a double-digit chance of happening that mover goes below $200 because Bitcoin breaks the range. It's over 10%. It's not over 50, but it's over 10%. I'm telling you right now. So that's what I got. So if you all liked what you saw, go ahead and hit like. If you're new, subscribe. Let me know if you want to be a cryptillion or a crypto crackhead. Those are the 2 gender-neutral pronouns that we use within both the YouTube community and the Patreon Discord community. And y'all just got typified.